YouTube. So I know I promised this week's video would be exciting and interesting, but unfortunately I've spent half the week being poorly and the other half of the week in hospital with my sister, so I haven't had a chance to do much exciting stuff. Although, I did get my very first pair of prescription sunglasses. Yeah, bug eyes. Ready for festival time. So, happy with that. But anyway, on to the topic I actually wanted to talk about. I finally got a chance this week to actually sit down and read a book, because I've done a lot of sitting around this week. And reading books is usually something I do quite a lot. I love books, I have loads of books, and I love reading. And unfortunately with my uni course taking up so much of my time, I didn't really have a chance to do a lot of it until this week. So let me show you what I've been reading this week, and then I wanted to kind of talk about my favourite books and thought I'd share that with you guys. This week's book is Vox from the Edge Chronicles. This is book number 8 of the series. There's actually 10 in the series now and a couple of side books. If you love fantasy books, just go get these from your local library, because libraries are such an underused resource. Go get them or download them or something. Go read these. They are fantastic. Of course, Harry Potter. Seriously, everyone should own Harry Potter. If you don't, just no. Just go cry in the corner. And if you're into Harry Potter and you haven't heard of Septimus Heap, go have a look at these. It's a very different kind of magic, more grounded and no wand-waving stuff, but it is about magic, as you can see from the title. If you love Harry Potter, this will make your day. Go look up this series. If you like something a little bit different, fantasy-wise, and a little bit weird, have a look at the Illmoor Chronicles. These bad boys are a fantastic read. It's like 10 or something ridiculous. Okay, so I just got some books from my bedroom and realised I have like a zillion favourite books. That's kind of scary. So the next one I want to talk about is probably my all-time favourite book, film, series, ever. And it's a very well-thumbed copy, as you can see. Lord of the Rings. Legendary book. If you've only watched the films, I know it looks like a mission, but seriously, there is so much missing. Just, you have to read the book. If you love the films, please read the book. And if you are a massive Lord of the Rings nerd fan, like me, then I can't recommend this more. This is so brilliant at breaking down the history of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and Silmarillion, because let's be honest, it does get a little complicated. This gives you all the history in little sensible chunks that you can actually understand. And kind of staying on the topic of Lord of the Rings, this is a kind of completely different story that kind of takes the mick a little bit. Okay, a bit more than I let on. But it is good, it is funny, and as you can see, this is also one I've read about 100 times. Okay, Trollfell. This is first in a series of 3, and this one is kind of weird as well. One of those stories that when you read it, you kind of feel like you know the story from somewhere, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Very familiar with it, but you're not quite sure why. If you're into like a thriller, crime stories, mystery things, Written in Bone. This is actually quite a recent read of mine, and it just kept you hooked all the way through. I know some crime books, you read them and you think, oh yeah, I totally know what's going on here, and it's so blatantly obvious. But this, seriously, will keep you guessing the entire time. There will be moments where you're like, oh, for God's sake, that's a bit convenient, but come on, you get that in all thriller books. Let's go to this one, The Other Boleyn Girl. This has been made into a film and a BBC adaptation, so you've probably heard of it, even if you haven't read the book. I watched the film first and completely fell in love with it, and then read the book and fell in love with it all over again. It's another one of those where you read the book and you're like, wow, this is so much more detailed and in-depth than they could ever let on in a film. Have a look at this series. Even if you've only seen the film for this, go and have a look for the series. Also, if you're into historical fiction, another one that makes me giggle a lot is a novel, The Autobiography of Henry VIII. Before any of you go, oh my god, Henry VIII didn't write that, he's dead. It's a novel, it does specify that. It's made up, but it's written as if he wrote it himself. A very funny read. It's because it's written from a completely different perspective as well. It'll just make you think about things that little bit more. It's very easy from the history books to look at things one way and make your mind up, but look at them from a different point of view and you'll think about it just that little bit more. This story, it was so weird to read. It's one of those that makes you stop think, oh god, what if that happened to me? What if that actually happened? What the hell would I do? It's one that's sort of so kind of close to reality. You get some books that are a bit magical and they're like Harry Potter. They're so far from the reality that we know. It's just a different world in your head. And then you've got things like this that are completely based in our world that you kind of think, if there was a little bit of magic, that's the kind of thing that would happen. And it also filled with a massive twist at the end. Just no spoilers, but massive twist. I didn't have a clue. And wow, just wow is all I've got for that. Tell me in the comments if you've read any of these books, if you love these books, or you hate these books, or have any other opinions that you want to share. Let me know. Anything you want to say about these books, or other books, any books that you could recommend to me that I should read. Little nerdy book club down in the comments. That would be lovely. That would make me very happy. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye!